Hey everybody, I'm Jeff. I'm from Roxborough Park, Colorado. This is my great dog Yuki. Yuki and I love working on old Ford Broncos. I've had my 77 Bronco for about, not quite 15 years. Well, I had one myself as a young man for a very short period of time, and I just loved how rugged it was. But really what made me so interested in Ford Broncos was my dad had one. My dad was always a used car guy. He could never afford a new car, but he saved and he saved and he saved, and he decided he was going to get a new 1978 Ford Bronco, which he did. He got it with every option known to man because this is the one and only time he was going to buy a new car. Ford just happened to have this new Ford Bronco that was big and stylish, and it was big enough for the family, so he decided to get one. He got one of the nicest ones around. Shortly after that, he put a snowplow on it so he could earn extra money for the family doing snowplow work. It was a very unique Bronco. It had a certain package, certain color and stripes and whatnot, but he was soon to be disappointed because he had to bring the Bronco in for some work at the dealership. They called him on Friday and said that the Bronco wasn't ready. He couldn't pick it up on Friday like he planned, and for him to come and pick it up on Monday. So when he picked it up on Monday, everything seemed to go normal, but he went to work with it, and some of the guys at his work were razzing him about taking the Bronco into this off-road park, and that he was really kind of abusing the Bronco at this off-road park over the weekend. And my dad told him, well, no, my Bronco was in the shop at the dealership. I guess they kind of disagreed for a while, and then my dad went out and looked in the Bronco, and he figured out the carpets were really wet. So he pulled the carpets up, and he found a bunch of silt and water still in there. So it was apparent that somebody at the dealership used the Bronco over the weekend, and his friends actually did see his Bronco going through the river. It was just not him driving it. So he went back to the dealership, and the dealership ended up buying him a new Bronco. Not too many of those Broncos really existed to begin with, but now some almost 45 years later, they're very rare. So I've been trying to find one exactly like my dad had it, just as a kind of a sentimental remembrance, I guess. I've been looking for like 2 years, and I've been having all my friends look, and we've been looking all across the country, and I finally found one in North Carolina. So I flew then, and I went to go see it, and I intended to buy it, but condition was less than what I had hoped. It was more rusty and more work that I wanted to take on. So it kind of was still going to possibly think about it because it took me so long to find it, but ultimately I decided I didn't want to take on that big of a project. But as luck had it for me, karma maybe. As I was flying home, when I landed, my Facebook, there was a posting from one of my pals that said, hey, look, here's one. The guy had just posted it like 15 minutes before I landed. I knew that particular Bronco because I tried to buy it earlier in the year, but I was outbid by somebody else. And the guy that bought it was now wanting to trade it in on something else. So I was able to get a hold of the guy and end up being able to buy it from him. So it all worked out.